Hola clase. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Today we will be reading over a dialogue seen here, el dialogo. All right, so you can either watch me read this on the screen here, or you can look at the copy that I posted on Google Classroom. It might be easier to read from that copy because sometimes it's pretty blurry trying to watch it from the YouTube video on the screen here. But either way, if you feel like you can see it okay up on the projector, then go ahead and follow along this way, or you can take a look at the copy that I posted. Okay, so in this dialogue we have three people. We have Diana, Ignacio, and Roberto. Now the things you should know are Diana and Ignacio are siblings. They're brother and sister. And Roberto is Ignacio's friend. Another thing you should know is that Diana and Ignacio live in Puerto Rico, and Roberto at this time does not. And we'll find out where he lives during this dialogue. All right, so let's get started. While we're going through this dialogue, you do not have to take notes. You don't have to try to understand the vocab. I will be translating it into English. What I want you to do is I just want you to listen closely to the story, to what's actually occurring in this dialogue, because there will be questions about that after this. All right, let's take a look. So in this very first image here, we have Diana and Ignacio in their living room, and Ignacio is watching sports on TV. See the TVs there? He's watching sports, deportes, on TV. And Diana says, Oye, hermano, voy de compras. ¿Quieres acompañarme? Listen, brother, I'm going shopping. Do you want to accompany me? Ignacio says, No, tal vez otro día. No, maybe another day. And Diana says, Que aburrido. She's saying, how boring. So she wants her brother to go shopping with him. He's busy watching sports and reading this magazine, it looks like here. And Ignacio is saying, another day. And his sister's saying he's being boring. All right, so let's take a look at this next image here. So in this next image, we see Diana pointing to the phone that's in the back of the room here, and this phone is ringing, all right? Ignacio looks to her and he says, El teléfono, oh, the phone. He hears it ringing, he says, the phone. And Diana says, Ay, Ignacio, no tienes que contestar, la máquina contesta. She says, oh, Ignacio, you don't need to answer, the machine answers. So the answering machine will get this message, all right? So Ignacio gets up and he's walking towards the phone here. Diana's just kind of standing there waiting for the message to start. And with answering machines, a lot of these home answering machines will have a greeting recorded. You know, hi, you have reached the Parks residence. Please leave a message after the beep, things like that. Well, this is the greeting to this answering machine here. Let me try to zoom in to see it, because I'm realizing that the text is pretty blurry. Here we go. All right. So this says, Es la casa de la familia Ortiz. Deja un mensaje después del tono. Gracias. So the answer machine is saying, this is the house of the family Ortiz, or this is the Ortiz house in English. Deja un mensaje después del tono. Leave a message after the tone. Gracias. Thank you. All right? And then we hear the voice on the answer machine. It is Roberto's voice. And he's leaving this message. Oye, Ignacio, habla tu viejo amigo Roberto. Si estás allí, por favor contesta. Listen, Ignacio, it's your old friend Robert. If you're there, please answer. All right? And so then Ignacio picks up the phone, and Ignacio says, Sí, Roberto, estoy aquí. Qué sorpresa. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Dónde estás? In Minnesota, no? Ignacio says, Yeah, Robert, I'm here. What a surprise. How are you? Where are you? In Minnesota, right? So it's here that we find out that Roberto is actually living in Minnesota. He's living in Minnesota. And then, let's see if we can find him on the screen here. There he is. There's Robert. He's on the other side here. On the other side of this phone call, there's Robert. And Roberto is saying, Tengo muy buenas noticias. Estoy muy emocionado. Mi familia y yo vamos a Puerto Rico a vivir. Llegamos el viernes. Cuando hablamos? Roberto is saying, Tengo muy buenas noticias. I have very good news. Estoy muy emocionado. I am very excited. Mi familia y yo vamos a Puerto Rico a vivir. My family and I are coming to Puerto Rico to live. Llegamos el viernes. We arrive Friday. Cuando hablamos? When can we speak? So he's saying, after I arrive to Puerto Rico, when can we speak? When can we have some time together? All right? And to that, Ignacio answers, Te invito a mi práctica de béisbol. Es el sábado a las 2. ¿Te gustaría venir? So he's saying, I invite you to my baseball practice. It's on Saturday at 2. Would you like to come? So the day after Roberto and his family arrived to Puerto Rico, the day afterwards, he's invited to Ignacio's baseball game, which is on Saturday at 2. Roberto's arriving on Friday, and then Saturday at 2 is Ignacio's game, and Roberto's invited. Roberto says, Claro que sí, en el lugar de siempre, no? Claro que sí, this 3-word phrase means of course in English. Of course. En el lugar siempre, no? So this is basically translated to in the same place as always, right? Or in the usual spot, no? But if you were going literal with this, it's in the place of always, right? Or no? But that's what it's saying, and it's in the same place, right? And Ignacio says, sí, en el mismo lugar de siempre. Yeah, in the same place as always. Roberto, bueno, adios. All right. So it looks like they're going to meet up at this baseball game. All right, let's see what's next. All right, so Diana comes in to the picture here, and she's looking at her brother, and she's saying, Tu pana Roberto, your friend Robert? And Ignacio says, Roberto y su familia vienen a vivir a Puerto Rico de nuevo. Roberto and his family are coming to live in Puerto Rico again. De nuevo means again. All right, so Roberto used to live in Puerto Rico, and I guess that's how him and Ignacio became friends. Then Roberto moved to Minnesota, and now he's coming back to Puerto Rico. All right, Diana says, Estás contento, no? You're content, right? And Ignacio says, Sí, pero también estoy nervioso. Ignacio says, yes, but also I'm nervous. So he's nervous about his old friend Robert coming back. All right, let's see this next part here. All right, so they're still talking here. They're still talking in the living room. And let me center this. Diana says, Va a ser el Roberto de siempre. Bueno. ¿Quieres ir de compras or no? So what Diana's saying is that Roberto's going to be the same person as he always was. So there's no real need to be nervous. He's going to be the same person as he was, when they hung out last. Then she says, bueno, which is good. ¿Quieres ir de compras or no? Now she's asking him again, do you want to go shopping or what? Or no? And Ignacio says, pues sí, hermanita. Ya no quiero ver más deportes. Vamos. Well, yeah, sister. I don't want to watch any more sports. I don't want to watch more sports. Vamos. Let's go. All right. So now they go shopping. Here they are. They're inside a store. And before this image, we are going to assume that they had gone to different places at the mall or shopping center, wherever they are, because this is said next. So the next thing that is said is, Diana says, acabo de comprar unos zapatos. Acabo de comprar unos zapatos, which means I just bought some shoes. And Ignacio says, yo vengo del cine, which means I went to the cinema. Alright? Diana says, hay una película interesante. Was there an interesting film? Or is there an interesting film? And Ignacio says, a las muchachas solo les gusta ver las películas de romance. No es verdad? No, he's not being very nice here or open-minded. He's saying that, well, girls only want to see romance films, right? And Diana says, no, también nos gusta ver otras. No, we also like to see other films. And then Diana looks at her brother, and she sees something's wrong. She says, ¿Qué pasa? ¿Estás preocupado? What's up? What's wrong? Are you worried? And Ignacio says, es que 2 años en Minnesota, ya no conozco a Roberto. He's saying, it's that 2 years in Minnesota, and I don't know Robert. Alright, he's feeling like he doesn't know him anymore because it's been 2 years since he's last seen him. And Diana says, no te preocupes. Don't worry. Los buenos amigos son amigos para siempre. It says, the good friends are always friends. Alright? So she's reassuring her brother that even though it's been a couple of years since he has seen his friend, Roberto, that everything's going to be fine. It's going to be the same old Roberto, and good friends will always be good friends. Alright? So I posted some questions related to this dialogue. Go ahead and answer those questions next.